Hey, everybody, good morning. Roman Polnar here coming to you live, and welcome to our Financial Aid Wednesdays. It is March 16th, and we're pretty close to the college decision day. And I decided to do this particular episode with the topic in mind for treasure hunting, because I think this is going to be most helpful for families of high school juniors and high school seniors. And the reason for that is because you're the ones who are going to be and are looking for colleges. And you're looking for the right colleges, the best fit colleges, ones that are going to be a great fit for your student and also a great fit for you financially. And so the reason I want to title this particular episode Treasure Hunting is because it's really important to find colleges that have the most money for you. Now, in this episode, I'm going to show you what to look for in colleges. I'll also show you how to find those colleges. And more importantly, you want to know which colleges will give you the best financial aid awards, regardless of your family finances, right? So if you've got a high school junior or a high school senior, this is going to be of most use and benefit for you because you're the ones that are really in need of finding those colleges that have the most money to give you. Again, you are unique from everybody else. And it doesn't matter what your personal financial circumstances are. Let's dispel all the myths. Whether you think you're going to just automatically qualify or if you think you're not going to qualify, all that is probably not true. Everybody can qualify for some amount of financial aid. There's just many different types. And I'm going to tell you how to find colleges with the most money. So I'm going to share my screen. And by the way, before I do that, if you're watching us live, I see there's a few of you on. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm going to keep my eye out and I'll try to answer your questions as I go along. If you're watching a replay, feel free to put your questions in as well because we're going to come back and we're going to look for those comments and answer all of your questions. And if this is helpful, give me the thumbs up so that I know it's helping you and share this with other friends that might have kids going to college as well. All right. So with that being said, give me just a quick second. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take you through exactly what to look for when looking for colleges with money. All right. So without further ado, here we go. So when it comes to finding colleges with the most money, what you want to look for are these two things. You want to look for capacity and you want to look for policy. Yeah, that sounds exciting. Let me tell you what that means. Capacity means that college actually has money. Policy means that they actually will give you money. And those two are not a given with every school. So I've gone ahead and built this very, very simple quadrant. So we have capacity and we have policy, and we're going to rank them from low to high. So let's start with low policy, low capacity. Like these are colleges that don't really have a lot of money to give and they don't give a lot of it out. Here's an example. I'm sorry, University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. I don't mean to pick on you. You're by far not the worst, but you're also not the best. And so I'm going to use you as an example. Now, by the way, for all of you watching, these are screenshots directly from collegedata.com. And that's what I recommend a lot of families use if you're doing this on your own. It's a completely free website. It's awesome to use. And I recommend you do. Now, for those of you who call us and engage for help, we have other tools available. But if you're doing this on your own, collegedata.com is awesome. This is where this is coming from. So what you can see here is collegedata.com showing us the cost of the school is $26,000. And this particular school will only give 47% of the amount of the financial aid that a family might be eligible for. Now, that's pretty low. And what that means is if you're eligible for $20,000 of financial aid at this particular school because you have a low expected family contribution, well, this school will only give you 47% of the money that you're eligible for. And you can see that, you might not see, but about 50% of the people that get financial aid receive gift-based financial aid, grants and scholarships, but the other half get loans. So not a great policy or not great financial aid policy. You can also see that they don't have a tremendous amount of capacity to give you any more money. So, merit money has nothing to do with your financial need. Merit money is given out to students that might not have a financial need. Maybe you're that middle or high middle or even a high income family. You don't qualify for need based financial assistance, but you might qualify for merit. So, a lot of colleges will just discount tuition, give you grants and scholarships. Well, this school doesn't have a lot of money to give. So that's a good example of a low capacity college, as well as not a great policy for financial aid. So let's look at the next one. It's low financial aid policy, but maybe this college has high capacity. This is good for families that might have high EFCs. Webb Institute, it's 75,000 bucks, pretty expensive, and you could see that they only give 56% in financial aid. Again, not great, but check this out. When it comes to merit-based financial aid, even for freshmen that had no financial need, they still got over, or at this point, on average, over $50,000 of merit-based financial aid. Now, that's awesome. So, like you might have a high expected family contribution family, no financial aid. Maybe this college just doesn't give any financial aid, even if you were to qualify. But look, they can give you up to $50,000 of scholarships. So, pretty good. Now, let's look at the opposite end. Low capacity, meaning this school has very little money in kind of their own bank, but they will need high amount of financial aid if you qualify for the traditional need-based aid. So here's Amherst College. It's $80,000 a year, pretty expensive. But look at this. If you qualify for financial aid, they'll give you 100% of the money that you need. And it tells you right here that their average financial aid award is $59,860. That's pretty good. And you could see that 59,000 is actually given in gift aid, which means you can expect to get grants from this college, not loans, not work study, grants, free money, the best kind of money that you can get. Now, unfortunately, this college does not report giving out any merit based aid, which means this is a high financial need policy school, but very low merit based school. They might not give you anything. So, who is this college good for? So, if you are a low expected family contribution family, this college will be awesome for you because you probably have a high amount of financial assistance or financial need for assistance. And you would expect to not only get 100% of the money that you're qualified for, but you can also expect to get it in gift or free money. That's a great profile school for you. But what if you're a higher income family? What if your expected family contribution is high? Would this be a good school for you? No, it would not, because it doesn't matter what the need policy is for the school. You wouldn't qualify for very much to begin with. You're looking for schools that have more capacity to give you extra money. You want scholarships. You want tuition discounts. You want grants that have nothing to do with your finances. Well, an Amherst in this case would not be the right fit. So let's look at the Utopia College. This is the kind of college that has both high amount of need-based financial aid, meaning they have high amount of need. So their policy, I should say, has high amount of need, and they also have a lot of capacity, meaning they've got extra money set aside in their endowment that they can give you, whether you qualify for financial aid or not. So Northeastern is one of these colleges. Equally expensive? 75, almost $76,000. That might scare some people away, but don't worry. I'll tell you why. Because look, they meet 100% of or 100% of the need, and of the 1,500 students or 1,500 freshmen that applied last year got money. Everybody got money. So if you have a financial need, meaning you have a low EFC, you can expect to get a fair amount of financial aid. And again, look, average aid was 43, almost 44,000, and almost all of it came in gift money right here. I can't see it, but anyways, here it is. Gift money, 41,000 came in grants. That's a terrific need-based financial aid policy. But in addition to that, they also give $19,000, close to $20,000 to families that didn't qualify for any need. So if you're a high income family, have a high EFC, you may or may not qualify for very much need based financial aid. Well, don't worry, because in addition, Northeastern will give you close to $20,000 of just scholarships or tuition discounts. So this is your Utopia College. So if you're a junior family, maybe your student is just now beginning to look at colleges, these are the schools you want to look for. But I would say the first thing you want to do is figure out, like, where are you going to get the most amount of money? So, for example, if you're a lower income family, what you're going to be looking for are colleges that have high financial need-based financial aid. They have good policies for need-based financial aid. So if your EFC, let's say, is in the 10, 15, $20,000, and if you can afford that, then you want to look for colleges that, again, have up to that 100% need-based financial aid. But what if your EFC, in our example, is relatively low, if it's 10, 15, 20,000, but you don't have the money to pay 15 or $20,000, then you want to look for colleges that not only have good need-based financial aid, but also have good merit. They have good capacity, right? They have extra money set aside in reserves that they can give you. That's your utopia. Now, what if you're a really high EFC family, right? Maybe you're upper middle income. And again, for financial aid purposes, it's such a distorted system that it thinks that someone making $250,000 can just write a check for $60,000, $70,000 a year for college and not miss it. For most families, that's just not the case. But anyways, what if that's you? What if you have a high expected family contribution, meaning that you're just not expecting to receive a lot of love from colleges in need-based financial aid? What kind of colleges do you look for? Well, the policy doesn't really matter for you at that point because, well, you're not a candidate for need-based financial aid. But you want to look for schools that have really high merit scholarships, right? You want the capacity. So when I was showing you this slide, you want to be either up here that have high capacity, or you want to be here. Because even though, here, let me move this around, even though they have low need based financial aid, you're not a candidate for it anyways. So if you're a high income family, you want to be in this quadrant. You want to be high capacity, or look for high capacity colleges. If you're a lower income family, you want to be up here. You want to look for high policy because you want to get 100% of the financial aid that you're eligible for. What do you do if you're a middle income family? You're getting hit from both sides. You might not qualify for a lot of financial need based aid, and you also don't have the money to pay for college. You want to look for these schools, high capacity and high policy. This is your utopia. And use collegedata.com to find those great colleges. Now, if you want some help, just put help in the comments below, and I'll reach out with a link to schedule a complimentary call. 15 minutes. We're going to assess your situation very, very quickly. And then I'm going to show you exactly which colleges to look for. So if you're a junior family, you don't want to miss this time because as of right now, your students are likely beginning to meet with their high school college counselors. Maybe you're fortunate to hire a private college counselor for your student. Whatever the case might be, this is the time when juniors are beginning to look for colleges. Maybe your student doesn't have a high school counselor or a private counselor. Maybe you're doing this yourselves. Maybe your student is doing this themselves. Maybe they're in the driver's seat, which is awesome in one way, but it's a pretty dangerous thing on the other hand. Want to know why? Well, as well intentioned and as, let's say, responsible as your student might be when they're looking at their own colleges, they're probably not considering all the financial parts of this equation, right? Because they might not know, how much money you have that you're going to be paying for. Maybe they don't understand the financial aid system. In fact, I would venture to say they really don't. So if you put them in the driver's seat when they're picking colleges, chances are they're going to find really good fit colleges for them. But they might not find good colleges that have the right financial fit for the whole family. They might not understand what financial aid policy means. They might not know what financial capacity means, like merit scholarships, right? So you want to work together with your student at this time right now to help them better understand what kind of colleges they should be looking for. So that if they want to study in a big city or a small city or somewhere by the ocean or in the mountains or whatever the case might be, where it's hot or where it's cold, kids have their own reasons for picking colleges. They might want colleges with a good sports team or with active Greek life or where their friends are going. All good things, but you also want to make sure that they're thinking about the financial piece. So, what's right for your family? Are you looking, or should they be looking for colleges that have good financial aid policies for need based financial aid, or should you be looking for colleges that have the capacity to give you extra money, like merit scholarships, or just simply discount the tuition to make it affordable for you? Maybe you need both, right? These are the kind of things your student needs to know right now so that as they go forward in looking for colleges on their own, with their college counselor or their private counselor, maybe with their friends, they need to have the financial overlay so that they're finding the right fit on both sides. And I promise you that those perfect fit colleges exist. There's over 4,000 schools in the US. And so I promise you, your student can find 10, 15, or 20 that they're going to love personally, that's going to have great programs for them to study, and that's going to have the right financial profile so that you don't have to get to a place in their senior year, actually, just about this time in their senior year, when you start getting acceptance letters and financial aid award letters to only discover now that, holy crap, these colleges are not giving us any money or not giving you enough money. You know what's going to happen at that point? Your student is in love with some college, they're fully emotionally vested, they've already gotten accepted. And if you don't have enough money, or if they don't give you enough money in the financial aid award, what are you left to do? Do you tell them to go back to the drawing board? Probably not. It's too late. There's not enough time. By May 1st, your student needs to make a decision about where they're going to go to school. And so if it's, March 16th and the colleges that your student got accepted to don't have any money to give you, and you got to write a bigger check than what you have in your savings account, that's a tough spot to be in. There are a lot of families in this spot right now. They're calling us right now. And unfortunately, there aren't many levers. So the best we can do is file financial aid appeals to ask the colleges for more money. But if they don't have the capacity to give more, Or if their policy says we only give 50% of the money that you qualify for, it's right there on our website. And we're sorry that it's not enough money for you, but that's all we can do. What do you do then? Policy is a policy. And if the college says, look, we'd love to give you more, but we're funded by the state, or we get most of our funding from the government, and we've given out all the money, we have nothing left to give. What do you do? That's when you take loans. That's when your students take loans to bridge the gap, or they don't go to college that year. And for most families that find themselves in this really, really tough spot, they don't want to stop their kids from going to college. They want to give them every single advantage that they can. And so what they end up doing is just loading themselves up with loans. They first load up their kids with loans, and then whatever the government says, that's the limit, can't borrow anymore if you're a student, parents will end up borrowing on their own, or they'll dig into their retirement. They'll take money out of their retirement accounts, out of home equity, out of other savings that was meaningful and intended for something else. So you don't want to be in the spot. I don't want you to be in this spot. So you can avoid being in that spot. If you're a junior family, even if you're a sophomore family right now, start thinking about what kind of profile college are you looking for, and whether you need high need-based financial aid, high merit, or a combination of the two, because maybe you're that middle income family that needs a little bit of both kind of money. Start now. Don't delay. Don't procrastinate. Don't leave this until the last minute. And anyways, take this seriously. I promise you it's going to pay off in the end, because if you find those right colleges and your student applies to those 10, 15, 20 schools, they're going to get accepted to a handful no matter what. And guess what? At that point, it's just going to be you choosing a better offer versus a best offer. They're all going to be awesome. And then furthermore, if you do that and you have multiple acceptance offers from multiple colleges that are all equally good for your student and have equally great financial policies for you, then you're going to be able to negotiate from a place of strength, because you'll go to college number 1, 2, and 3 and say, hey, we got this fourth, whatever offer, and it's fantastic. And you want the others to elevate theirs as well. So you are really going to be in the best position to negotiate with these colleges for the best offer. And then if you have colleges that actually had the capacity, well, then they have money to give. So you can come back and ask them for more. And somebody's going to give you more money. So it's just going to be it's a win-win all around for you and for your students. So you don't have to go into debt. And you don't have to dig into your, personal savings and your retirement, because you're going to need it one day. So anyways, I'll stop talking soon, but the last thing I'll mention is this. If you're a high school senior family and you're in the middle of reviewing acceptance and financial aid award offers right now, then you may not have the time to go back and look for new schools, but you do have the time to figure out what is the capacity for the colleges that just accepted your student, so that how far you can kind of push the envelope in the financial aid appeal, so that you know where to focus the next couple of weeks and what to do to get the money from those colleges that have the most money. So again, if you want some help, say help in the comments below. I'll reach out with a link. You can set up a 15-minute call. It's complimentary for the first call. If you want some personal help in actually writing the appeal letter, putting together the financial aid appeal packet, we can do that for you very, very quickly and get you more money from whatever offer you've been given. So with that, I wish you the best. If you're a junior family, start looking for those financial profile colleges or the right fit financial profile colleges today. If you're a senior family, start negotiating. File those financial aid appeals, get more money. And if you need some help, let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all next week. Until then, wishing you all the best. Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching.